Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So lately I have a few close Wing Chun friends message me, advise me instead of using the term facts and evidence, I need to use the term in my opinion or in my view, so that it is more acceptable and more influential. Well, I think for those messages, however, I'm presenting what I'm present similar to in the engineering department of a corporations. Okay, it has to be based on facts and evidence. Otherwise, there's a big consequence one has to be facing and responsible for. Okay. This is not some kinds of creative marketing strategy type of stuff. Okay, so that is how I use the term facts and evidence. If it is facts and evidence, then let's see it as it is. Like if the world is the Earth is round, say it is around. It's not in my opinion the world is round. Okay, I know those people who have thinking the world is flat will never buy it and don't like it. But so be it. Why do we need to mislead others just because we want to win more audience or win a popularity contest? That's not my agenda or my goal. My goal is about education, so that everybody know what is the facts and everybody can benefit from it. Okay. Now let me tell you some of my background. So I study the pre-1840 Wing Chun from my Sifu Cho Hong Choi, where I got the writing and I got the sets. Okay. And I inherit what he taught me. And then I have access in the monastery of my Sifu, Venerable Fatan, in Indonesia. So I have the access of the library of the Buddhist monastery there, where other people most do not have the access. So I can read a lot of things, what is kept there in the monastery. Okay, there's a lot of ancient stuff there. The third is I am reading a lot of Grandmaster Zhou Quanchuan's publications or writings. And Grandmaster Zhou Quanchuan is actually the gatekeeper of the Hermes Zhuang, expert in Chinese medicine, Qigong, and martial arts. Also, it is a Western trained college level student. And then I study Qigong, healing Qigong, and many things with Grandmaster Ma Li Tang's students, different students. Okay. And we know that Ma Li Tang, Grandmaster Ma Li Tang, at that time, 1930s time, actually is very active in martial arts. Actually is one of the top Xingyi guy, and he's also a college graduate, and he contact with or have all this contact with the older generations, northern internal martial artists, including Grandmaster Du Xingwu. Okay, so I get access of a lot of information there on what is reality. And not to mention that one of the student of Grandmaster Ma Litang, the Grandmaster Sangji, is actually a professor in mechanics, okay, physics mechanics in university. So from here, from my Sifu, Grandmaster Zhou Hong Choi, to Grandmaster Ma Litang and everybody, and also including another very important person, my teacher, Grandmaster Lin Guanchen of Taiwan, who is expert in the Taiji Jing. Okay, I see whatever it is there, from the ancient to the modern, whatever exists. Okay, so it is not about speculations when we see the common denominator. Okay, and it is only this way we can implement it, whatever we talk about, like the 613.3. That is the base of it. You see the whole thing. And of course, another thing is that I'm a student of Venerable Xuanhua, the Zen Patriarchs. So it gives me to have the first-hand understanding of what happened with the 613.3. And now I'm not claiming that as Grandmaster I know everything. What I'm saying is that I've seen these things and I know what they are. That's what I'm saying. And because I know what they are, I'm going to present it as what it is. Okay? Now, as for why I'm calling it art and science, because, for example, when I study with Grandmaster Bing Chuan, who is in China, who is the student of Grandmaster Ma Litang on the Six Healing Sound, there's a lot of Qigong stuff. He corrected me. He said that's not what it is. Okay? And this is violating Chinese medicines. Okay? So that's a part of the ancient. One need to know what it is, exactly it is. It's not for speculations. On the other hand, when I study the Jing or force flow with the Grandmaster Lin Guanchen from Taiwan, okay, there's a lot of things which is physics. Okay, so here you can see there's ancient art and there's physics, and especially say for example the term qi. The Chinese using qi as a different stuff for different in the different area. For example, when they talk about momentum, they say qi shi. Okay, well that's qi and momentum, right? So what is that qi is about? When you talk about momentum, well, there's trajectory actually. If you use it in today's language, scientific language, there's trajectory of the momentum or trajectory of the physical mass. Okay, and then when you talk about the Jing, you talk again here is a qi jing. Okay, so what is qi jing? In terms of science, that is just saying that is the path of how the force applied. That's a qi. So it's if we in the term I coined is called the forceful path. Or okay, it's like the jing lu. One term the Chinese always use is called jing lu. Okay. So when they talk about qi jing, actually is the pathway. Okay, how that pathway, okay, is about. And then when you talk about the qi in the body, okay, it can be breathing. Breathing is qi. Okay? Whatever you breathe is called the post-birth qi. Whatever is stored in your body, in the lower abs, is called the pre-birth qi. And then you talk about the qi in the Chinese medicine. There's the qi in the meridians, for example. So qi means a lot of things. You cannot say, oh yeah, this is qi, this is qi, and then when we want to understand what the heck it is, we don't know what it is. So if you don't know what it is, how are you going to implement what it is? How can you repeat it? You can't. Okay? So that's my background, and that's why I get into this science and art stuff. Because we want to see what it is as it is, and then we want to see the art in it, and we want to see the science in it. Only that way we can have a very solid base. Okay? So recently, I watched a preview of a movie in YouTube, and the actor said, oh, this fighting scene is really good. That is Wing Chun taste. I look at it. Oh my God. All this violating Wing Chun fighting maxim stuff, they call it Wing Chun taste. The guy doesn't even know about the withstanding type of body and the swallowing, the entering body. Okay? How is that Wing Chun taste? Sure, people argue with me, and a lot of friends argue with me. Oh, that's just a movie. You know what I tell them? Sure, because I pointed out the screw up. You guys say it's a movie. But if I do not point it out, you know what? You guys are going to advertise it like real. Okay? But that's just fantasy. Okay? So if we want to care for education, we don't do this kind of stuff. Okay? We tell what is fact, what is evidence. Because if we talk about fantasy or something never exists or something we don't know, we never be able to implement it. Okay? And the other thing I like to share is this. When I talk about this facts and evidence, do I blame anybody, including the post-1950s people? No, absolutely not. I just pointed out the facts. Okay? You have to look at the history of the China. Pre-1800, the society at the China at that time is very likely to be like us today. Pretty stable society and make a living and pretty prosperous society. So they value the health, training, practice. They value the fighting or the combat. Okay, so as what always they say, it is to strengthen the body and for self-defense. Okay, and people at that time have a lot of high and deep intellectual understanding of the Chinese culture and all this qi and the kung fu stuff. When it hit after the Opium War, 1840s, the China turned into a chaotic situations where a lot of people start to have doubt on their own culture. Okay? So they drop qi stuff and all this stuff, either they know it or not. They just want to be westernized, because the westernized beat them in the war. Okay? And then you come the Taiping era, 1860s. At that time, the whole country is in chaotic, at least the southern part. Okay, when I mean country, I mean China, I mean southern part. It is in the survival mode, okay? Fight and fleet type of mode, where life doesn't mean a thing, okay? You read the history, how many get killed in that battle, how much casualty there. Okay, and it never be rested until 1950s. And start 1950, if you read the history, still they took Western school as the higher educations, because most people are illiterate. Oh yeah, so go to Western school and so forth. Okay? Go to 1960, same thing. 1970, okay, same thing. And right now, it's totally forgot about the what? Whatever happened in the 1800, the culture, the knowledge, most doesn't know what happened there anymore. Okay? So, whatever creations between, say, 1870 up to today, most are creations of the people who really don't understand what happened in the past, in the 1800 period of time. And you can see a lot of writing in Quinquit and so forth. It doesn't make sense. Okay? Either they violate the Yellow Emperor classic of the traditional Chinese medicines, or they violate the real classical of the martial arts. Like for example, this entering the body, the soft body, or the what do you call it, the swallow body. You enter because it's a close body up and the long range up. And if you look at the 1950s, since somebody say, oh yeah, Wing Chun is actually evolved from the Western boxing, from the 1850s era, because a sailor there. Well, you know what? I like to agree with them, even though I said that by evidence it is not influenced in the 1850s by the sailor, Western sailor go to Canton. But in Hong Kong, 1950s, Wing Chun is evolved with boxing, Western boxing's ideas, and some geometry ideas. Okay? So all these evolutions up to today, and right now, we get into a spot there. If we do not bring back whatever in 1800, we do not take in whatever the scientific way and fuse it and progress, we are hitting a dead end. And you might question me, oh, how can that be? The movie of Wing Chun is so popular now, okay? It's a hit movie. Sure, there is a hit movie, but that's fantasy. Will Wing Chun be able to deliver as in 1800s? Strengthen the body and defend oneself? I'm afraid not today, because the art today, post 1950, is a big man art, as we prove it with the momentum, okay, and with the breathing or human body nature. So, what's next? If we do not care for educations, we do not care to have a solid platform. So, my bottom line is simple. It is an educations I care for on my agenda. Like this iPhone. My agenda is someday everybody can afford it and have it. That's a Wing Chun. You can be really good, or you can have a gold iPhone. Well, if you're rich, you can do that, but at least everybody can have it. Okay? And with this 6.13.3, it is a science, disregard of the lineage. Any lineage can take it, implant into their lineage, and grow, because every lineage has its own uniqueness. So again, like the smartphone, different corporation can make different smartphones. There's no end to it. And the evolutions of the technology keeping go better and better. So if it's not that way, you're gonna stuck in the movie, get the fantasy, and it's gone. Because we cannot stand in the ground and keeping look up to the sky and think some days, we become some demigod, we can fly. That never happened. And history has already told us it never happened. So that is the bottom line, my bottom line, of why I always using facts and evidence, because I can show you what it is, where it's from. We can track it. And sure, you need to expect that. If you get a Silicon Valley chief architect and design engineering director to look at things, any one of them will tell you what's going on and need to fix it. It is not about anybody's ego. But if we don't fix it, the whole corporation can go under very fast, because today's world, everything moves very fast. 6 months can change a lot of things. So this is my sharing for you today.